Hey, folks. So I want to give you folks all an update of what's been going on here and everything and how my mental state has been and everything. I know last time it was kind of a bit of a rocky road with the last video here and everything, and I was really very unpleased with YouTube and everything. And apparently it's already here, I guess, and everything. Allegedly, to say whatever. I don't want to say too much or criticize too much on it because I really don't want YouTube to jinx me or whatever personally. But it overall just kind of is what it is here. I am dressed nice on purpose today, folks, this evening because I went to a fancy restaurant. It's a little Italian place called the Old Spaghetti Factory, and I got myself the meat lover's treat. I love getting that every single time. I freaking love the rich meat sauce and the good old meatballs. That's what I used to get as a kid or whatever. I'd always get like spaghetti is one of my all-time favorite foods. I'm sure with like any kid or whatever at a young age, right? And I always like to get the spaghetti and meatballs there, but I always get just the regular sauce, not the rich meat. And then I would switch over to the rich meat sauce, and then it's like, but then the meatballs aren't there because the meatballs are fun. They're freaking fun as hell. I love the meatballs. So I decided to get meatballs on the side with it, and then now I'm at the meat lover's treat, which is basically spaghetti with the rich meat sauce. It's basically and what rich meat sauce is basically, folks, is that it's basically just pasta sauce with like chards of meat, in it or whatever, and sauce and everything as it's presumed. And it's really damn good. And there's like two meatballs it comes with, and that Italian sausage, man, truly takes me to heaven here, folks. Truly cloud nine with that stuff. But anyway, I mainly just wanna discuss with you folks with my mental state and my plans for the future here on the channel here. So I am gonna continue with this channel here and everything. I'm gonna push forward with everything. We still got a bunch of stuff to look over. Still got some stuff to react to and everything. But I want to have a plan B in mind, folks. And I'm still not sure exactly what alternative to move to and stuff. And it really sucks and everything. And I am gonna listen to what you folks, say and everything with that really long posts I made that's practically like a book and a half long or whatever. And of course, it had to get some words incorrect because I had so much to say that I just decided just to use voice chat, not voice chat, voice text, I guess, or whatever. Well, basically, you speak into your phone, the microphone built in or whatever. And since I'm not the greatest with my, words and everything, it got some things wrong, so it may seem a bit silly in some parts, but no way in heck was I gonna sit and type all that because I type some things and then I hit space and the stupid autocorrection gets something incorrect, so I have to backtrack, and it's just text, and especially with texting all of that stuff, it would have been a living damn nightmare. So I decided just to legit speak my mind through my voice through voice text or whatever you call it, speech text. That's what I'm calling it. I call it voice text because it's not like a actual voice message or whatever like this or just a little auto piece or whatever. It's basically just speaking in and it picks up the text of what you directly say. But anyway, nonetheless, I did have a lot to say and I did leave two options for you folks to vote in there by either migrating over basically this herd of deer, if you will, this whole mini community of herd that we have here, to move over to an alternative or just to stay here and see what happens. And honestly, I don't really want to move over to an alternative because not only would it just kind of suck, because everything's not as well, established and fleshed out as here on YouTube and everything. And the audience would be kind of lower in general because I'd legit be like starting like practically a whole entire new game in a sense, with everything I built up here. But that's kind of the thing too, is that I don't want to let go of this platform really, honestly. I mean, I will if I have to, but it truly breaks my heart to say that, or to have that idea of that, because I know you folks, and I said this before, and I said this in my posts and everything, but I've had this channel for a pretty long time. Ever since ever since 2013 of December, like literally the very end of 2013 when I was 14 years old. I've had this channel for a pretty long ass time, and I've grown significantly, throughout the years of this channel here and everything, like I said, I proved and everything. And it just really damn sucks if I have to let it go here, because I've had this channel practically half my life now here, at this point, starting when I was 14 years old and stuff. It's quite a lot, honestly, to look back on, because I started with, Roblox. I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have a webcam. I think I've had my own computer before. Because I had my own computer when I was 11 years old. I broke it because I have anger issues and stuff. But I remembered when I was 11 years old, my dad got me this red Dell, and it was like this dark red Dell, maroon red, and because I love red and stuff. So he got me that, it was my own first computer, ever. And I, you know, would game on that a lot. I used to do a lot of, web browsing games and everything, or to watch, YouTubers that I look fondly on, like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. Those are like the three main, bigs that I would, look up to the most. And for me to make this channel here, and everything. And that's why I like to mainly do gaming as well and everything, because I am first and foremost, as I said before and everything, I'm mainly a gamer first. But I also like to do the MOP horror AUs for you folks as well, because I know that's how everything started, along with the horror stuff and everything there too. Now, when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially the MOP horror AUs, or cartoons for, kids in a sense, but turned in a more mature way. I'm a bit unsure on that with this new system coming in place and everything. But honestly, I'm just kind of holding my breath at this point and just waiting to see what happens. Like I said, I don't want to say too much on it or criticize it too much because I don't want to be jinxed or whatever, or get, caught in the net per se or whatever. But I'm pretty much just gonna wait and see what happens and just kind of continue onwards, from here and everything. I do want to make an alternative just in case, because I don't want to lose you folks, but mostly it'll hurt me the most personally because of everything that I've grown on here and everything. All of my comments that I've ever posted on here, have been on this platform. All of my likes and everything, all the videos I've made and everything. The whole freaking timeline of me and James is on this very channel here. Like legit everything. There's like even one video, I think back in like 2015 or whatever, or 14, whatever, where I legit just scrolled through James' first, or second YouTube channel or whatever, the first or second, one of the two, and I just randomly, it was like on a Skype call or something, I guess, or whatever, and I was just like scrolling down, just dumbly, all the way over to the very end, just for something to do or whatever, and, God, oh man, Skype. Who even uses Skype anymore? Damn, it's like a distant memory. Did it like it? I'm curious now on that shit. Did it get like hacked or something? Oh man, that that brings back a memory. Oh man, I actually I remember talking to my grandma before on Skype when I was like 9 years old and stuff. Damn, I have to look into that myself. That's it. You see, it's crazy like that because I'm so used to Discord and using Discord, but now it's like looking at Skype. It's like, oh man, that was like That was like the mind space of dating apps or whatever back in the day. It's like, it's honestly just kind of crazy and everything. That's how it kind of overall started here with me and James, actually, was here on YouTube. Then we got in touch on Skype and everything, and we just kind of rolled off from there. Oh, man. Do they even have my account anymore, or is it deleted by now? I haven't even touched Skype in like 8 to 9 years or something. Oh man, that's that's a crazy memory to look back on and everything. Jeez. And I had Windows 8 and everything, and I used to think Windows 8 was cool because it was the future and stuff and everything, but it ended up being complete utter dog shit or something. Not even that great. I was just excited for it because it's the new future and stuff. I used to be such a stupid geek, like back with Fallout 4 back in 2015 when that game came out. I used to be such a geek on that because it was the next level generation of open world gaming or open worlds or some crap, whatever, and I just would hop on that. Watch Dogs 1. Oh man, the E3 trailer of Watch Dogs back in like 2012, 2013, and when the actual game came out. Oh man, I was such a buffoon. Folks, I would get into many booby traps that way. I would just give in to the hype and I would just leap over like a sheep, like, oh, this is gonna be the new next best thing or some crap, and I would just jump over, I guess, with because I don't know, I was a dumb kid that way. I was a dumb teen, but I guess we all get like that. But overall, folks, getting back on track here and everything, I am overall doing better here and everything. Still a bit unhappy, still not doing fully the greatest, but I am doing, a lot better here and everything. After taking some thought here and everything, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just take it as it is. If something happens, something happens. But for now, as long as I'm kind of, scot free with it, I'm just going to keep on leaping, per se. I'm not going to, try and stress on it anymore, worry about it, and who really knows or who knows what's to really say. One good thing that I will say about this is that apparently this is on a small percentage of it as a test thing, which does make sense overall, but I hope that something changes drastically or whatever. Because honestly, when it comes to safety and privacy and stuff, and I know a lot of folks like around this day and age don't really give two craps on privacy, but I always like to I always like to be extra careful on privacy. But anyway, I'm just gonna repeat myself and overlap on what I said previously in the past video here and everything. I'm overall doing, okay and everything still. We still got some plans to do, unless something's changed otherwise. I'm just gonna truck along forward with this channel here and everything because I like making content for you folks, and overall, just makes me happy. We got some reaction videos that we gotta do. We still got some MLP horror AUs that we're gonna do, unless I changes otherwise. But again, we'll wait and see. We still got some gaming that I want to do and show you folks, and I still got my dementia Alzheimer's music projects that I'm working on. I've still been thinking heavily on that, and I'm gonna definitely push forward on that. I'm not gonna say when it's gonna come out or whatever, but I'm already working on stage 0 here, and I'm pretty happy with the progress here. So basically, all I'm trying to say in this video here, folks, is that I am doing better, and that we're just gonna continue along. If anything happens, then, it happens. And also, mainly, that I want a backup alternative. I'm just not sure when or what exactly, because I've looked at Kick before, and Kick's very slow or whatever. And I've looked at Daily Motion or whatever, that's kind of slow too. That's kind of the thing that sucks though with some of these alternatives is that they're not really the greatest or best, and they take a huge minute to like load in anyway. So this is kind of like an all or nothing kind of deal. But it's important to have at least a backup, at least as of now that I'm thinking of it with this new change that's coming in or whatever. But yeah, I overall digress and everything. So I plan on coming back to the channel here soon and everything. Maybe within a couple days, maybe tomorrow. I haven't fully decided just yet. So I'm just gonna basically just wait and see what happens. See what comes at play here and everything. Because if anything else, I'm gonna continue with this channel here. We got like I said, we got some reactions to do, we got some gameplay, we got some more content to do, and I got my music projects that I'm gonna be working on. So yeah, so basically that's all there is to it for this video here. I'm not going to keep this video too long because I do not want to make another 30 to 40 minute video of me yapping myself again. I feel like some of you folks, unless I'm wrong, but I feel like a couple of you folks were really unhappy with my little hissy fit in my last video, and I basically just let my emotions take at play, and I don't really like to do that because I like to actually think what I say and not just run on my emotions, and I don't like making negative content in terms of like a filmmonger type of thing, I like to make stuff that I'm passionate about, stuff that I'm happy with, and stuff that I really, care much for as well here and everything. But I guess it's overall good to vent and let some frustration out, even if it's in a sort of, negative light and everything. But yeah, anyway, that's basically it for this video here. So with all that being said and off the way, thank you folks all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe for more. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you folks don't miss out on a future post or video that I make in the future. And that you can always be kept up to date with the channel here. And lastly, if you have any requests or suggestions that you want me to do, feel free to tell me down in the comments below. But that's basically it as of now, and I will see you all sooner or later. Bye bye.